And Prince William will appear alongside Hollywood A-listers tonight at a reception during his US trip. Earlier today, the Prince hosted a bilateral meeting with the President of Ecuador and then unveiled his Earthshot Prize finalists. In a gushing chat with the South American leader, he praised the country's crucial and fantastic work battling climate change. The Prince had earlier told reporters, "I know our generation can take the bold action we need to make changes towards a healthy and sustainable world." It came as Wills yesterday held a high-level meeting with the UN chief Antonio Guterres ahead of a climate summit tomorrow. The Prince also waded into the Hudson River as part of an oyster project which aims to clean up New York's waterways by 2035. So, Tom, I know you think William is doing a very good job, and this tour has not had any of the disasters or the controversies that Harry and Meghan have had to deal with lately, or, to be frank, his and Kate's Caribbean tour last year. But I do just wonder if you think that there's any danger about how far he's straying into the climate change path, given that, you look at the big breaking news of today, Tom, and it's all about Rishi Sunak rowing back on net zero. This is not a set topic, despite what the establishment might like to think.
Well, I think Prince William has been very clever in avoiding controversy, because what he's done is he's awarding prizes to people who've cultivated seaweed or produced tyres that don't produce molecules which contaminate the atmosphere. So what he's really doing with this prize is praising people who are doing real things, as opposed to guessing and being controversial.
So he's not talking about, for example, net zero. He's
not talking about net zero, general, and what he's doing is he's encouraging people who need encouragement. And I think it's remarkable that he is so popular in America. As President Biden said, yes, Bloomberg said, the mayor who introduced ex-mayor, introduced him, he's the most popular person in America now. They may have to want the king come back. But I think it's because he does have such an honest and unaggressive manner, and he's an attractive man. And the Earthshot Prize is a great idea. And it's very good for Britain to be shown to be taking a lead in the things which are not controversial. I think the Americans will warm to it, and of course everyone warms to Catherine, Kate, and that's great too.
Is it a mistake not to take Kate? Because it does feel like the trip, I'm going to be honest, Tom, very important and, good cause, but it's lacking a bit of glamour, isn't it?
Well, yes, but I think they quite rightly are putting their 3 children first.
Yeah.
She does a lot of work. She was put on that strange headgear the other day, or collar gear. And as you know, I was in a minority. I thought it was right not to go to Australia, because I do think that they really have to bring up their children to be balanced family children, and that is really more important than the sudden appearance somewhere. So I'm a great enthusiast for William and Kate. I think they're doing a terrific job, and the Earthshot Prize is really something of great value to him and to Britain.
And he's certainly into a purple patch at the moment, isn't he? He's come into his own, he feels confident, and it doesn't look like, it's remarkable when we think about it, Tom, those allegations from Harry, of him being a bully and a physical abuser, all of those sorts of things, haven't actually damaged him at all.
On the contrary, I think got a lot of sympathy. And I think he had another very good idea of using some of the land, which got a lot of land, the Duchy of Cornwall, to try and house the homeless. So it shows a very great social
confidence. His mother.
All right, let's talk about the backlash that's brewing right now. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are getting dragged for allegedly using veterans to boost their public image. This is around their latest push with the Invictus Games, a project Harry founded for wounded veterans, but now people are saying it's become more about them than the cause. See, this isn't just tabloids being tabloids. Actual veterans and military supporters are questioning how authentic this campaign is anymore. And when veterans start raising eyebrows, you know something's wrong. Let's just be blunt. Meghan's face is everywhere in the promo, but where was she when the games were actually being built up? This was Harry's baby. And now suddenly the whole thing feels like a branding opportunity. I'm not saying Meghan can't support veterans, but when your involvement feels more like a media play than meaningful support, that's where people get upset. This one hit hard. A veteran who actually competed in the games said it felt like they were being used as props in the Sussexes PR machine. Think about that for a second. These are real people who served their country, who gave everything, and now they're being sidelined in their own spotlight. And honestly, it's just plain wrong.
Princess Diana, who remains very popular in America. But look, royal controversy never far away, Tom, because Prince Harry's 39th birthday was publicly ignored by the royal family. Every single senior member of the royal family, every single social media page. That has never happened before, Tom. So does that suggest that relations are at an all-time low?
Well, it suggests that they've finally seen reason. Finally, after all this time, they're going to ostracize and forget Harry and Meghan completely. And I thought it was quite awful, a lot of the media coverage of their trip to Düsseldorf, because as I predicted last week, they've used the whole of the Invictus Games to promote themselves. None of the coverage actually was seeing a race by these veterans.
Well, apart from on this show, Tom, I've got to be honest with you, the coverage has been falling.
Absolutely falling.
We're
the only people who criticise them. Well, nothing. What's changed is bizarre. I tried to find out myself why nobody's actually criticising the Sussexes for using the veterans to launch themselves. And we started last week with saying how appalling it was that she was using the family there and ignoring her own family. And only yesterday, her father, who is very ill, says, he's desperate to see his grandchildren before he dies. He's convinced he's going to die any day. So the syrupy stuff of her visiting the German homeless in Düsseldorf and then going back to her mansion in Montecito, everything is so confection, everything is so false. And what's marvellous is that finally, the royal family have realised, seen the light, and decided to ignore them completely, and ostracise them, don't give them any help. And I hope that next time they land in London, they have to go through customs and immigration like the rest of us.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? There is a theory that Harry and Meghan are starting to work with the British newspapers again, despite promising that they would never talk to those nasty tabloids. So maybe.
Well, I think there is one tabloid who gave them such gushing coverage this week. I think we can guess who their new best friend will be.
Something is going on.
Feels like every time the Sussexes try to rebrand, they shoot themselves in the foot. Spotify dropped them. Netflix is reportedly disappointed. And now this. You can't build a lasting brand on good PR if people think you're manipulating noble causes like the military. Public trust is slipping. And no amount of filtered Instagram posts can fix that if your actions don't match your message. Here's the thing, supporting veterans is a beautiful and necessary cause. But when it starts to feel like a backdrop for a comeback tour, people notice. And they don't like it. Harry and Meghan need to figure out, are they truly about service or just about themselves? Because right now it's hard to tell. That's it for today's reaction. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Harry and Meghan are helping or hijacking the Invictus message? Hit that like button, subscribe for more.